Welcome to another edition of Debate This, the post-NFL draft edition. And we all saw what the Cardinals did this weekend, Kyle. And so it's going to be very excited for the two of us to talk about some of the questions that came out of it. I'm Darren Urban. He, of course, is Kyle Odegard. Moderator Jacob, take it away.
All right, let's jump into our first topic. Kyle, we'll start with you. Rondale Moore will have a bigger impact this season than Zaven Collins.
So Rondale Moore was the Cardinals' second pick, so naturally you wouldn't think so, but I do think he's going to have the bigger impact. Zaven Collins has to deal with Jordan Hicks at his same position, who's a veteran, and Rondale Moore might not be in the top 3 receivers on the depth chart, but he's a punt returner, he's a kick returner, and he has such natural ability that they're going to get him the ball on offense. I think Cliff Kingsbury is going to make him a part of this offense very quickly, and he's going to have a bigger impact as a rookie.
You know, that's a fair point, Kyle, and I can't argue too strongly, but I am going to argue it because I do think Zaven Collins ultimately is going to have a very big role on this team. I think as a first-round pick, I think they want to get him on the field with Isaiah Simmons. I do think while Jordan Hicks is here, and I do think he'll serve as a good mentor, I think we saw some of the things with Jordan Hicks' game last year that made it necessary to get a guy like Zaven Collins on the field. And I think Zaven Collins has the kind of mentality that's going to get him on the field quicker just because I think that he's kind of a force of nature in that regard.
All we have to do is look back 1 year, same exact position. Isaiah Simmons was drafted higher than Zaven Collins. He didn't get on the field right away because of Devondre Campbell. It's going to happen again, and Rondale Moore is going to be your star in the first 2 rounds.
Possible, but don't forget, Isaiah Simmons didn't have an offseason. I think Zaven Collins is going to have an offseason.
Now on to the second topic. Darren, you get the first crack at it. The Cardinals should have traded up in the second round for a cornerback.
I'm going to say no to this, and I think no because I'm not 100% sure how they felt about Asante Samuel, who is basically the guy that we're talking about if we're talking about trading up. He was a quality cornerback, but he was a little smaller. People thought he might be a slot guy. So for all we know, the Cardinals didn't have that high of a grade on him. And you get a guy like Marco Wilson later on who's got a much bigger measurables and he's a bigger physical guy. I think it made sense to stay where they went and draft Rondale Moore.
Well, I'm dipping into the grades of Kyle on this one, and I did like Asante Samuel, and I do think he's going to be able to play outside in the NFL. So, yeah, I mean, I get it, and I think Rondale Moore, as we said, is going to be a good player. But when Asante Samuel got that close to the Cardinals pick, I don't think it was cost prohibitive anymore to trade up a little bit, give up some draft capital, and get that corner. I agree that it turned out pretty well in the end where they got a couple guys later that they could use, but I still feel like Asante Samuel might just be a star in this league, and it would have been good to have a lockdown cornerback on this team.
All you're doing is driving people crazy with that kind of talk, Kyle. And I do think Marco Wilson and Tay Gowan have a chance to kind of rectify any cornerback issues that they might have.
Now on to the last topic. Kyle, you get the first shot at this one. Marco Wilson will start at cornerback at some point this season.
I like his potential. I like the athleticism a lot, but I don't think he's going to start for the Cardinals this season. You've got Robert Alford still as that number 2 cornerback, and I feel like free agency is still a spot where you can add a veteran if you want one. I think Marco Wilson has really nice potential in what he can do, but it never came quite together production-wise in college, and I'd be a little bit wary of putting a rookie on the field so early at cornerback where it's a position where if you get burnt, that could mean a lot of long touchdowns.
You're not wrong, Kyle, in terms of wanting a rookie out there. I understand that part of it, but 17 games is a long season, and then to say Marco Wilson won't start at all. And the other question becomes, I understand free agency is a possibility, but where you stand right now, if you got something out of Tay Gowan and he makes the roster and Marco Wilson makes the roster, that's 5 cornerbacks right there. That's Byron Murphy and it's Malcolm Butler and it's Robert Alford and the 2 rookies. And I don't know if you're going to have any more cornerbacks that you're going to be able to fit on the roster. So I think there's going to be a part where Marco Wilson does start. And it may be for no other reason that he has to because of injuries or whatever. But I do think he's going to get on the field at some point this season.
I feel like you're kind of sliding into that starting role based on an injury. I'm talking about him taking over, starting 10 games. Maybe he starts 1. Didn't Jace Whitaker start a game last season? I'm talking about actually starting here.
Well, now all of a sudden starting has like levels to it for Kyle. I mean, come on.
A bunch of guys started last season. Doesn't count to me.
That ends this debate, and now it's time for me to pick a winner. This is a close one, so I'm finding any reason to give an upper hand. I'm going to have to go with Darren here. He trusted the Cardinals draft board, and in regards to trade, it takes two to tango. Clearly, on Christmas morning, Darren will be happy with what he got.
I just want to say, Jacob, that I'm very excited to have won this, and I always enjoy besting Kyle. But I know there's a lot to debate on these topics because God knows the fans had a lot to say over the weekend on social media with what the Cardinals did. So I want to know what the fans think about this. What do you think about these questions and how the Cardinals proceed going forward?
There goes my undefeated debate this career.